This is an event that we commemorated on an annual basis with ACRI, and we are happy that you all have made our time to be with us here today.
I like the fact that at ACRI we are doing this, and I know so many organizations doing a lot of things around education, food support for Almajiri children across Nigeria. If we look at the number and ask ourselves, have the number of Almajiri children in the street really increased or decreased? You know, so if you really look at the efforts and initiatives that have been done across the state by individual, you will really see that we have not significantly reduced the number that we want. And so therefore it just shows that there is something wrong with the approach, and there is need for a different approach to be taken. It's kind of established a framework of shared responsibility between the government, the parent, and the community. A lot of people are willing to really support the Almajiri children, you know, but when it's not really structured for sustainability, it's not going to really work. These are some potential Almajiri children that would have been sent to the street, right? To Almajiri centers where the mother don't have the capacity to support them, and then they end up in the street. So this is just to tell us that if we are able to redirect resources to the source of the problem, it could effectively, you know, reduce the number. It will reduce the desire of parents to send their children to the city center, okay? And then mothers will not be overwhelmed, and they will not see children in this. A lot of state government refuse to support it because they feel the children are not from their own state. So clearly, it means that it could be the school could be functional and could be supported if within their own state. But if they fail to do, then the parents, the community people could then see the situation very close home. They can then directly hold their House of Reps, their legislators accountable. Why? Because the best investment that you want to do for your constituency is, of course, education for the children. So this is one of the reasons why we feel localizing the Almajiri, sending the Almajiri to class, community learning Almajiri school system will really offer a more sustained change to the Almajiri situation.
I heard them say, future is gloomy. How can future be gloomy when those who are supposed to shine through those gloves are left behind? How can future be gloomy when I hear all his leaders of tomorrow, a tomorrow that never comes? All I want is to have access to quality education. Being educated is not privilege, but my right.
Today, what we are having in Almajiri system is not that. People are doing it to run away from responsibility. In as much as there will be the irresponsible parents in the northern part of Nigeria, Almajiri system will not be reformed. Therefore, we have to take this in mind. We must have a policy, a law that will protect the future of these children. I want to remind you what Amina said. She don't want her hope to be killed. And there are millions of children in Nigeria who have that hope. It is that hope that took me away from Almajiri system. I had hope in my mind to be somebody important in the society. That social cohesion was eating me. That is why I asked those questions that led me to get out of Almajiri system of education.
We're talking about millions of children out there. You find that these children are, some of the malams, and I may say this with all due respect, that some of the malams actually are very sympathetic to these children. You would find a school, one of the malams that we spoke to would tell you, I don't take more than 50 children because I can't cater for more than 50. I am sure that their hairs are being bathed, I'm sure they have a bath every day, they have clean clothing. Another one that we're working with has over 1,000. Now when we look at that 1,000, what do you say? There's a certain level of exploitation right there, whether you like it or not. And this exploitation is what? Economical advantages to it. The parents would tell you, we live in a society where we don't have access to basic education. So because we don't have access to basic education, the only source of education that we can give these children is Quranic education, so we send them out. And they will tell you we want them to at least have a little bit of discipline and have Islamic knowledge rather than being complete stack illiterate with no knowledge at all. So when you look at it, like I said, you cannot throw the baby at the bathwater. What can we take from the system? What can we use from the system? Where is our entry point? This is a system that has survived many generations. We are currently working with an Almajiri teacher in Adamawa State. He has a degree in computer engineering. Why is he an Almajiri teacher? He inherited it from his father inherited it from his father. It goes back how many generations, and I'm sure Sheikh maybe you would be able to testify to that. And it goes back how many generations? There's nobody from the northern Nigeria that would say he doesn't know the root cause of Almajiri, or has not been in a room where people will talk about the Almajiri system and its disadvantages. When I started this, my father said to me, he's equally like Sheikh here, he's an Almajiri, was an Almajiri child. Same story, he ran away at 10, but finished the Quran at 10, but he knew that he wanted Western education. He saw someone very close to him go to school. He said what attracted him to wanting to go to a conventional school is the uniform. I said I want to dissolve Almajiri in Nigeria. That was the first thing I said. I started talking about it. The heat was unbelievably much, on social media, because I think as I was going through some of the hadiths of them saying in Hausa, I think one of the videos I said, I really don't think that hadith meant exactly how people are translating it now. I don't think the Prophet said, bring out children and throw them on the streets for them to fend for themselves. Because there's still an ayah that countered that, saying, family, your children and your wives. So you can't tell me that this is Islam. The Islam that I've read cannot tell me that it's okay for children to be on the streets looking for food without shoes. During the election period, these are the children that you see in the trailer running from one city to another, chanting somebody's name because they have nothing to lose. So eradicating this or reforming this will mean during election time, there won't be a gathering of 1 million youths doing nothing because they know they've not done anything. The people who are educated are barely there. So they will never reform this or stop it. Individuals like me and every other like mine here are the ones that will keep talking about it until somebody up there will hear us. The malams, this is absolutely a source of livelihood for almost all of them.
this 10 naira, 100 naira that you bring to them, they don't work. This is what they use to take care of their responsibilities. And the irony is they use that money to send their children to a conventional school, while they take this money from a 4-year-old.
In our work, this is how we see it. We see that working with the communities is very important, with the parents, and also creating kind of a protection for any children. But whether it's a child that is moving away from home, whether it's a child from the community, whether it's an unaccompanied child, separated child, the most important is to have the best interest determination of the child. And it's very important for us because I think this is stated in all the international standards and also in all the personal beliefs. We all believe that the child needs to be protected, first by the parents and then by the community in general.
Very punchy and straightforward 5 things we need to look into. 1, to have an integrated and multi-sectoral, multi-stakeholder policy that cuts across all relevant stakeholders. Strong policy moving forward by the state government. Then 2, to look at an integration model that works for other parts of the country, learning from what Leila is doing, what Mariam is doing, what Sani is doing, what Khalifa in Kano is also doing. Let's get most of this model and let government go into good integration. And the third one is the coordination, where we see a Minister of Education, Minister of Finance, Budget and Planning, Minister of Education coming together, Minister of Women Affairs. Look at all of us here. Who's from top government officials? Is there anybody from most of these ministries? You see, I know invitation was sent to them because of them. So we need to have a robust system of engaging with government that work in terms of the coordination that will help accelerate growth and also implementation for this Almajiri model that is working, we can replicate. Then the fourth one is the finance. We should have what I call out of school an Almajiri intervention funds. Billions of naira set aside, managed directly from the presidency, and we have a condition for each governor to assess it. And by the time we pilot it in 2 or 3 states that is working, governors will come assessing this money directly from presidency. For a meantime, not only like a lifetime program, let it be like a 5 years intervention and see how it's going to work. Financing mechanism for Almajiri out of school. And the last one is monitoring. Anything formal should be monitored. Anything that you're spending money should be monitored. We need to measure results. We need to measure impact. We need to communicate what is working and what is not working and why. So these are the 5 points that I've said: policy, integration, coordination, financing, and monitoring. Thank you.
Panelists, salam.
Zan tashi in je in gaida malam sannan in je in gama karatu. Bayan na gama karatu karfe 7 zan je in yi wanka in shirya in tafi makarantar boko. In an taso boko zan je in cire kaya in tafi gidan malam in ci abinci in dawo in kama karatu. Shi ne a wani abin da nake yi. Thank you for listening.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Halima Nekehi. I am a 10-year-old child speaker and child advocate. Almajiri is a seeker of knowledge. Every Almajiri child you see out there is a seeker of knowledge, not a beggar. But they seek such knowledge in such an unfavorable system. That system is what we need to be worried about. Every Almajiri child deserves a better education without being subjected to neglect, hunger, harsh weather, or unhealthy environment. I am calling on all the arms of the government, parents, individual philanthropists to look at the method of the Almajiri, because Almajiri is not the problem, but the system is what we need to revive. Thank you and God bless.
Today.